What is going on? You are listening to TAGSPodcast, aka Talk About Gay Sex Podcast. I'm your host, Stevie. This is episode 431 alongside Jeremy Ross Lopez. How you doing, Jeremy?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. Also, of course, joining us is Kodi, Maurice, Doggette. How the hell you doing, Kodi?
Hello, darling. I'm doing wonderful this evening.
Nice when we record this on January 16th, a 3-day weekend. Oh my goodness, I celebrated like it was 1999 for my birthday.
Yeah.
Well, lots of fun, maybe a little too much fun, but is that even possible?
No.
Yeah, it's not possible, but yeah, great kickoff. Kodi and I, of course, joined me along with a few other friends. How much fun did we have, Kodi?
We had such a great time. Bar hopping. Dinner was fantastic. Oh my gosh. We have to go back to that place. What was it called? Harry Mar?
Hav-E-Mar.
Sorry.
Yeah. For those Marcus Samuelson chef fans out there, if you come to New York, it's a great new spot, Hav-E-Mar in the Chelsea neighborhood. And yeah, just had a lot of fun. I also went and saw the musical Some Like It Hot, which I highly recommend to see when you come to New York. Check it out. It's just so much fun. Great voices, great story, updated, of course. So highly recommend that. But oh my goodness, so much fun. And yes, looking forward to the year ahead.
Happy birthday, boo.
Thank
I know.
you.
Happy birthday. That's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I had a great time. All right. Well, we got to get into the show, but we always love to read comments from people when replying back to episodes when we were talking about various things, including, we were talking about trans men couldn't get it because they are saying you can.
Because we were discussing whether or not people that were assigned female at birth could take PrEP.
Mhm.
And so Teddy responded back to me and he said he spoke to one of his trans male friends and they said that the effects weren't worth it for a lot of trans men. It's not as safe as Descovy and stuff. There was access to Truvada, but this trans man thinks that there were some trans men and GNC people who came in and said they couldn't be on it because of side effects. So that is why trans men and females were not taking PrEP as much as, or it wasn't as ready available to them as it is to men, people that were assigned male at birth.
Got it. Okay. And always check in with your physician to see if it's right for you. Also, we had a comment from Sinfully over on our @TAGSPodcast on Instagram talking about masturbation clubs. He says, I've been to the masturbation club here in Chicago. You had to get naked and masturbation was the only thing allowed. No anal or oral. If you were caught doing those activities, you could be asked to leave. Ooh.
Oh.
Guys played with each other, but it was all just mutual masturbation. It's usually held in an open space like the back room of a bar, so everyone is intermingling. Oh, with their dicks out. Nice. I like that.
Sounds like my kind of party for real.
Exactly. It sounds like a night at the Eagle in the second floor here in New York.
Hey, but is that really? It's never mind. I was about to say something not good.
Okay.
Because my mind immediately goes to if that is cheating or not, but I don't need to talk about that.
Right. Check in with your boyfriend on that one.
Exactly.
And lastly, we had a comment over on our YouTube when we were live last Wednesday. Said, I've noticed that if you're a well-endowed straight dude with nudes that go public, it won't bode well for you, especially in the entertainment industry, because it's intimidating to other straight guys with a gay actor. Oh, they said with a gay actor, if done carefully, you could be a boost to your career. And that was from Jacob Williams on YouTube. So,
Nice.
Yes, thanks. We always love it when you comment back to us. Keep the conversation going. Well, we have to shout out to RHYHEIM, SHABAZZ, porn star, who just surpassed 1 million followers on Twitter. He's over 1 million to be exact, extending his lead as the most followed male porn star on social media, gay or straight, who appears in both
Nice.
studio and fan content. And there's only a handful of biggest female porn stars like Angela White, Abella Danger, who have more followers. But RHYHEIM crossing the million mark is all the more remarkable, I think. So congratulations to him. Jeremy, are you a fan of RHYHEIM SHABAZZ?
I don't remember which one he is. Let me look.
Look him up. I know we obviously not adding
He's
to his $1 million Twitter followers. Are you, Kodi?
I follow him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and he was at the Porn Star Awards in West Hollywood when I was there last year.
Oh no, I'm not a fan.
You're not a fan, okay?
No. Oh my gosh.
I am. I mean, he's a really good top, so I know he's a really good top. It looks like I would like to experience that, but
and he just bought him for, I believe, the first time on film very recently.
oh wow,
So,
okay. Nice. Well, we also winning Golden Globes. We were talking about Golden Globes last week. Evan Peters, who is in the Jeffrey Dahmer story, Dahmer Monster, has gotten a lot of criticism for his win for Best Actor playing Jeffrey Dahmer. Of course, he won his very first Golden Globe, but not everyone is happy, including a lot of the victims' families. Quote, Evan should have used his acceptance speech to mention the families who are still suffering from Dahmer's crimes, or to say Hollywood should put an end to telling stories about killers and glorifying them. You know, I saw this. I know you did, Jeremy, as well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that it glorified. To me, I actually didn't know. I know there's been a lot of stories about Jeffrey Dahmer over the years, documentaries. For me, it was educational in that I didn't know much about him. I didn't know that he preyed on people of color, men of color. And lastly, I thought it did a good job of actually portraying the victims and giving them a face and telling their stories. To me, I don't know that it's an actor's job to then go when he accepts an award to have a laundry list of things that he should have said. But I don't know. That's just me. Jeremy, what are your thoughts on Evan Peters winning?
When I saw his speech, I thought it was very him. It was very like short, concise. He said it was a difficult feat to get through that, playing this specific part. And I think that he was true to himself and what he wanted to say when he went up there. And I think you can always say shoulda, coulda, woulda, or you can think what you think someone should say. But I think only that person is entitled to say what they feel in that moment. And I thought that his speech was short and concise and very him as a person. Like, he doesn't give not long dragged out, but
Political.
he doesn't give he doesn't really get into the logistics in speeches, where some people use it as their time to like get across an important message that means something to them, or just certain ideas. So you could always say he could have done this, he could have done that, but I think that overall he played an amazing part. He won for that reason, and I think that the show really spent time helping you get to know the victims a lot more than focusing on the actual act of his murders.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. You know, Kodi, one of the things he said in his speech that had a lot of people cringing was that he said, I sincerely hope some good came out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think any good came out of this portrayal? Was that cringeworthy to you, or what are your thoughts on this?
I was going to say, actually, I was going to bring that up and say that is probably I think that's one of the better things that he said in his speech, because like you said, Jeremy, you can forget to thank somebody at any moment in time. When you're up there, you kind of just, especially if you're not a planner, you just kind of go with what you're actually thinking and feeling in the moment. So it's really easy to forget to thank people.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that he went up there and said, I hope that this actually does some good, this work actually does some good, it says a lot about his character. So I don't think that was cringeworthy. I think that kind of almost redeemed the speech a little bit in my eyes. So I think that he's just fine. I think that his work speaks for itself. The only thing is, and we discussed this during dinner for your
Right.
birthday. We were talking about work a lot, honestly. Was that him winning an award? That the mother of one of the families that people that got murdered. I think that him winning the award, she was saying that it could encourage other people to have uh, these tendencies or to think about the fame and being notorious for murdering people. And I think that is something that made me think a little bit like, what is the makeup of a serial killer at the end of the day?
Yeah, I think we definitely feel our hearts go out to the victims for having to have this being replayed over and over throughout the years. It's just we could also blame true crime dramas that are
Yeah.
on every night ad nauseum, and one could say, is this portraying and eliciting more of that same behavior of a lot of different types of behaviors? So, I do feel for the victims' families, but I don't think um, Evan Peters should take the blame for any of this. But let us know what you think, though. We always want to hear from you at Tags Podcast. Okay, well, there's a new reality show. We were talking about it the other day called The Real Friends of Weho. I'm wondering, for starters, before we get into the latest drama, The Real Friends of Weho is going to come on debut on January 20th, right after Drag Race. First of all, Jeremy, are you going to be watching this? Because I know you're a Housewives fan.
I think I will tune in and see what I think about it. I'm not one to rag on TV. If I don't enjoy like the first few episodes, I'll just not watch it.
Yeah,
But I'm kind of like intrigued a little bit, and I mean we don't have any mainstream shows at the moment that focus on like a group of friends, so I'm kind of interested to see it.
Yeah, I'll definitely tune in to. So part of the drama, the latest drama, is that it's
Mm-hmm.
going to be cutting into your show, Drag Race, Kodi, taking it
Yes.
from 90 minutes down to only an hour. And many of the queens are not having it, especially some of the fans that said, why did we have to lose 30 minutes for all the hard work that the queens are going through in Drag Race just to have screaming queens over on The Real Friends of Weho? And so that, I think, is grounds for, I think they need to prove themselves first, if people even want to watch it, before they start cutting into a solid show like Drag Race. What were your
Oh
thoughts on that,
yes.
Kodi?
Oh, I agree 100% with what everybody is saying. I need my full 90 minutes of Drag Race, okay? I do not I will probably watch The Real Friends of WeHo, but I will probably still be ragging on it. I'm one of those people that watches it and adds viewerships to it and still goes in on the back end and still is talking about it like, did you see this girl right here? But yeah, so I just think that they should not be cutting into my Drag Race time. When you play with that, then you start to play with my feelings, and no thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, and then the final drama that is coming out, and they haven't even debuted yet, is apparently porn star OnlyFans sensation Chris Salvatore was rumored to be in an episode, but apparently none of the cast wanted to film with him. He's tweeted last year, 3 gays from a certain reality show refused to film with me for having an OnlyFans, so I was fired by production after filming for only a week. That's all I
What?
can say for now. We keep talking about this though, on does having an OnlyFans, putting nudes out there, affect your career or not? And we just had somebody on YouTube say it should help your career. I can't imagine. This seems crazy to me. Like, Brad Goreski really didn't want to film with somebody that has an OnlyFans. Please, I mean, what do you think of this drama, Jeremy?
I think it's stupid, and I mean, having an OnlyFans is not really that big of a deal.
Right. I think it could only help the show and would be juicier if they did have this, right, Kodi?
Oh yeah, 100%. I think that Chris Salvatore is super hot, and him having an OnlyFans and layering that into the whole plot of the real Friends of WeHo, it could only help, like you guys said. So yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah, I mean, for a show that hasn't debuted yet, there's certainly a lot of drama surrounding it. This is rumored, so we're not sure if it's true or not, but I'm sure it certainly sounds like Chris Salvatore was asked to film and did film for a week. And I think it could only help. I mean, OnlyFans is such in the stratosphere of not just our LGBT community, but people in general. So this could only help the show, I think. They better hope they get good reviews and not burn any more bridges, though. So we'll have to see on that.
We'll see.
Okay. Well, we've got to get into some hot topics here. And there is a natural hormone making gay men super horny. They write this article, are you permanently horny or constantly scrolling your phone in search of sex? Yes, sex is great. Gay sex is even better. But perhaps all that scrolling is having a detrimental effect on your life. Well, there is a new study that found that men who display hypersexual behavior often had elevated levels of the hormone oxytocin. Researchers at the University Umeå in Sweden looked at 64 men with a clinical diagnosis of hypersexual disorder, and the results showed that you have a preoccupation with sexual fantasies, urges, or behaviors to the extent it can have a negative impact on your life. Around half of the hypersexual participants were enrolled in a 7-week cognitive behavior therapy program to help address the behavior. Afterwards, though, they did find through blood samples that many of the men showed lower levels of this oxytocin when they went through sort of a treatment. And right. So, I mean, have you ever had periods, Kodi, where you thought maybe you had this oxytocin in your system?
Now? I mean, at all times, yes. I was wondering what the treatment is for this, because I think I have a double dose of oxytocin right now. So, and if I didn't have it, I would probably ask for 2 more. So, I really the big question is, what is abnormal, or what do they qualify as affecting your normal life? So that's what I was guessing about as
I
far
think
as
it's
this
a
is concerned.
preoccupation essentially is what happens, but it's found more in women. They tend to have more oxytocin than men. It's a key hormone of the reproductive system, but most humans, I think a healthy dosage, it's dubbed the cuddle hormone or love hormone, as levels are boosted when we experience affection and intimacy.
Hmm.
Men also experience a boost in oxytocin from their brains when they ejaculate. So, but it can be, like I said, holding hands can boost the
See?
hormone. So it can be found in other ways than just this. I think when it becomes sort of a detriment to getting things done in your life, have you ever felt this, Jeremy, in your life, that maybe you had a lot of this going on in your system?
I think so. I think I felt that it comes and it goes, but I wouldn't really be sure how to like measure it.
Right, right. I think
One can assume, but I'm not sure like just the actual any sort of percentage.
right. And I think for me, it comes in like how much porn am I watching on a day?
Hmm.
And,
Mhm.
when you work from home, sometimes you have to really be diligent about your time, obviously, because it's so easy to just get on an app or watch porn. And so I think I've found during certain periods of times where I've had higher levels of just a preoccupation of looking at porn and being obsessed with it practically, and then other
Hmm.
times where I can monitor it. So for me, it's just kind of checking in with myself really on what's going on with that. But it sounds like it could be a healthy matter as well if it's called the cuddle hormone. So
I know. I feel like I want to cuddle all the time. I want to hold hands all the time.
oh,
And so I don't know what, yeah, I don't think it's a detriment at all. Well, I mean, you never know what could happen out there, right?
Right. So, anyways, let us know what you think on that. Hey guys, Valentine's Day is just around the corner, and this year I'm actually looking forward to it. Remember the guy I met on the naked beach and who I just went on a date with? Well, things seem to be heating up between us, and I'm really looking forward to spending the holiday with him, and more importantly, carrying it into the night, all night. For our community, Valentine's Day can be a really sexy holiday for lovers, new loves, or finding a hot hookup, which begs the question, are you ready? Roman ready for sex? I know we all love sex here at Tags, but I would bet we're also looking for intimacy because intimacy and connection is really what leads to happiness. Roman covers a variety of sexual health issues for men. Roman can help you achieve a stronger and harder erection through prescribed medication. Want to last longer in bed? Roman has individual discreet wipes that will have you lasting longer in bed, and I'm talking 4 times longer. And you know, here at Tags, we discuss the importance of knowing your testosterone levels, right? Roman can help with that very issue through testing and treatment. The best part is, Roman is all online, making it super convenient. Everything from Roman will be sent to your home in discreet packaging. What could be easier than that? To get Roman ready for better sex this Valentine's Day, go to ro.co/tags today to get 20% off your entire first order. Do it by February 8th for guaranteed shipment in time. That's ro.co/tags. Okay, well, hooking up on the first date apparently is more popular than you might think. This is another study. A new survey found that nearly half of adults have had sex on the first date. Sex positive brand Love Honey conducted the poll, and they found that 49% of respondents said they got down and dirty after initially meeting with a potential romantic partner. While this might not exactly be breaking news to some gay men, the survey also didn't specify what exactly counts as a date. So they said your messy 3 a.m. grinder house call might not count, but hooking up after breaking bread and throwing back vodka sodas with your latest swipe right most definitely does. I think most gay men, a lot of gay men hook up. I know I just went on a date and I'm kind of in a tricky situation because we didn't hook up on that first date, but one might count. Our first meeting was on the naked beach. But then if you recall, I told the story on how I saw him at 3 a.m. on the dance floor at the Eagle, and he did pull me into the bathroom stall where we kind of got down busy. So essentially, I guess I do fall into this category of hooking up before the actual date. I think we just get this out of the way sooner than later. I know we've talked about this on the show before, but what are your thoughts about this, Jeremy? Do you think people hook up more on the first date?
I think it's more common in our community, but I also think it really just depends on the person, and I don't see a problem with it because sometimes getting that out of the way in the beginning actually makes you like the person more.
I tend to agree with you too. And sex is very important. And you want to know if you're compatible. And I think, but just to be devil's advocate, Kodi, do you think it can ruin your chances of wanting to go on a second, third date?
It hasn't ever for me. I think that when you have sex on the first date, like you guys said, it's all about some sexual compatibility. So if that spark isn't there, then that can ruin whether or not you want to go on a second date or not. But I do think that when that spark is there, it's kind of undeniable. So you just make sure that it's right and all the everything goes in the right place. So yeah, I think that having sex on the first date is not really a bad thing. I had sex on the first date with my boyfriend and we're still together after 2 years. But there was a time when I was waiting until the third date or the fourth date or 6 months, whichever one came first.
Right. Now I hear you. And did that work? Yeah, did that work out for
And
you?
that did not
Right.
work.
See? So, yeah, I tend to think the 3 a.m. hookup with somebody, I've had a lot of those before. And though being hot, oftentimes intentions might be good to exchange numbers, but 9 times out of 10, I don't always follow up. They don't always follow up. I think it was what it was. And to try and, even when I've had coffee the next morning, it's, I don't know if it ruins it or I know too much or there wasn't that spark that, somebody that I'm interested in. It was just a simple sex hookup
Mhm.
where I think like the guy that I went on the date with, we had already talked enough, met on the beach, and there was enough spark there that now we want to do it again and have more dates. So I think we're gonna have actual sex, I hope, on the next date. He's supposed to be taking me out for a belated birthday dinner, so I'll report back if we
All
do,
right.
and won't tell
Let
him to
us
listen to the
know.
episode. All right. Well, Gay Bros recently listed their instant turnoffs and deal breakers. I'll read you a few of them. Here are some of the no-nos. Saying I'm straight, but I want to experience gay sex. Saying I'm DL was another one. Being insensitive. And one person wrote, my ex once told me that I needed to get over my dead mother's death. I left him
Ooh.
alone after that, and he tried to apologize to me via FaceTime with another dude in the background. Oh my god! Speaking of sex, talking about sex nonstop. I get it, dudes. I get it. Dudes be horny, but if you're steering every conversation towards sex, I'm not going to waste my time. Hate it when I hit off with a guy and before long he's acting like I'm a fleshlight instead of a prospective partner. Those
Mhm.
are some of them. Gay guys judging. Um, do you have any turn offs, the instant turn offs from guys, Jeremy, that are just like absolutely no?
I'm trying to think of like, I don't know, someone that definitely doesn't pay attention to when you're speaking is like a big turnoff for me, especially if they're like on their phone a lot when you're first trying to get to know them, like
Right.
within the first 20 or 30 minutes of like hanging out with them. That alone just annoys me to no end. Also, I think I said it before, but like unmanicured hands, like long nails,
Ooh,
really
yeah.
grosses me out like a
Mhm.
lot.
Yeah, definitely hygiene is a biggie for me. That could be an instant turn off. Or I agree with you though. Somebody that's not paying attention or can't remember certain things or doesn't show any interest really in you
Mm-hmm.
is talking all about themselves can be a total turn off because it's like, is this
Oh
an
yeah.
indication on how the relationship is to go from here? I mean, it's all about you.
Yeah.
No, that never works. Um, Kodi, what are your thoughts? Instant turn offs.
Yeah, just about if we don't have anything in common, if there's no, ground that we have together or that we have things that we can share or really the spark that's there, honestly, is kind of undefinable or unquantifiable because it's either there or it's not. So I fell asleep on one date, honestly.
Oh my
So
God.
or almost fell asleep on one date, but it was just because we didn't really have anything in common. We were just really not really, built for each other, I feel like. So that is the main turnoff for me. But then again, like you guys were saying, hygiene is really, really important. The smells I need for everything to be smelling correct.
Yeah, right. Get that in order. I also think flakiness, people that are flaky and don't commit to meeting up and or just move dates around too much. I don't like, my sister and I talk a lot about this. If you're going to do something, just do it. Like commit. You don't have to commit to a relationship with me yet, but you do need to commit to let's get together. And that's I think sometimes why I don't like the endless chatter on the apps because
Hmm.
it's like, are we just virtual buddies here? I don't want a virtual buddy. I don't want a pen pal, as my friend often says. I want to meet in person. And then we can decide if we want to go further on this. Plus, you don't get things like hygiene always on endless talking to people on the app. So I just
True.
think, yeah, that's another biggie for me. Okay, well, couldn't help but talk about this Reddit thread, and it came from Ask Gay Bros Over 30, and they write, chatting with a couple who doesn't play together. I began chatting with a guy on one of the apps who's in an open relationship. His partner recently started chatting with me as well, separately. Neither mentioned that their partner was chatting with me, so I'm assuming the other doesn't know. Ooh, juicy. Haven't met with either guy yet, but would like to, and it's heading in that direction. They don't play together. Should I mention to either one that I've been chatting with the other, Jeremy?
I mean, I definitely would.
You would?
I mean, you're not going to say anything at all?
I'm going to see how this plays out and see which one I like better.
I don't know.
Is that
I don't like all the drama that entails, so I would be upfront more than I would just be like staying secret on the sidelines, like, I don't know, just playing the game too much. I would say something.
I guess the drama could entail, what if you cause more drama by telling them?
Right.
You know?
I mean, yeah, I mean it's like a double-edged sword, to be honest, and it's like a tricky situation, but I always think it's better to be upfront than just say nothing.
The other problem is you could be on the losing end of it, because what if you
Yeah.
X yourself out of the whole situation? They're like, oh my gosh, too much drama, and neither one wants to go out with you now, and you just like, now you don't get anybody. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that, Kodi? Would you tell both partners that you're talking to both of them?
So at first I was on your side, Steve. I was like, don't tell either one of them and get that ass.
Right.
But then I definitely see where Jeremy is coming from, because at the end of the day, it's their relationship that's kind of in jeopardy there. So the more upfront and the more honest you are, the more they'll be able to work things out on their end, and then hopefully you'll still be able to get both their asses at the end of the day.
Yeah, so he also wrote, yeah, hopefully you'll be lucky that way. One of the concerns he wrote is that their agreement is to not share, and that if I say anything, I would be the one sharing. However,
well, that's their problem. That's not really your problem as the person that's in the middle, right?
Yeah, I think you're right on that. It's kind of a tricky situation. I mean, I think I would just play dumb and see which one actually, back to commitment, which one is going to get together with me. And then maybe then I would say something, hey, by the way, I'm also talking, I think, to your partner. And
as you're putting on your pants,
as I'm running out the door. Yeah, as I'm zipping up. Right, exactly. Oh my gosh, yeah. I don't know about that, but
good times.
Yeah, that's a good one though. Let us know, how would you respond to that? Would you tell? Let us know. You can always go to @TAGSPodcast and DM us on our Instagram page. Well, this is crazy. Airbnb suspended a Texas host who sent a message to a same-sex couple. Essentially, Airbnb says it's investigating one of its hosts following a message allegedly sent to a same-sex couple. The host is suspended pending the outcome of the investigation. It happened when Curtis Kimberlin Jr. and his partner Jonathan were looking to book a room in Dallas, Texas. They were disappointed when one of their choices responded negatively to their inquiry. Kimberlin took to Twitter to post about the experience. He reprinted a screenshot of the exchange between his partner and the host. Jonathan excitedly told the host, my partner and I will be flying into town over a weekend wedding, and we're really excited. It'll be my first time in Texas, and my partner is from Dallas, so he'll be showing me around. The host response was blunt. So I'll be hosting two men sleeping together, right? And that obviously did not go over well, because then they canceled the actual reservation. And I'm really happy to hear, though, that Airbnb suspended their membership, because we talk a lot about on the show when people don't want to make a cake for a same-sex couple and things of that nature. this to me, how are you going to have an Airbnb and pick and choose who is going to come into, they didn't have a bad review. It's just that they didn't want them staying because they're the same sex couple. I mean, is this shocking to you, Jeremy, that there
I
would,
think it's really sad and very backwards that that's still like a problem, and it's pathetic that you can take a heterosexual couple's money, but you can't take a gay couple's. Like,
Mm.
it just sounds like bad business and just ignorance.
yeah, really bad business because, Kodi, the gay men are probably travel the most out of,
Hmm.
I bet
Oh
there's
yeah.
studies that show that we love to travel, and you're missing out on, it's bad business. I agree with Jeremy. What are your thoughts on this?
I mean, what did they think was going to happen? That the people were going to come in and they were going to have be gay by association of people staying in their Airbnb? That's just ridiculous. It's so stupid, and I'm so glad that Airbnb is dedicated to a non-discrimination discriminatory practice. It just makes me want to use their site even more. I just
Yeah,
can't believe this. Yeah.
right. There's been a couple of other offshoot brands that have tried. I forget. I can't think at the top of my head, but
There's Mr.
Mr.
B&B.
B&B, yeah,
Yeah.
which is always a good one to check. I haven't been on there in a while, and they don't have as many listings as Airbnb does,
Hmm.
but you know, it's good that Mr. B&B is around there as well. But I'm glad Airbnb did the right thing and suspended that account. Thank you very much. Okay, and I want to know, will you be watching this show? It's For the Love of DILFS is the name of the show. It's on Out TV. It's a
Already like it.
a very real gay dating show headed your way, courtesy of Daddy TV. The show's a central conceit is simple: two groups of gay men, aforementioned daddies and himbos, come together to live in a gorgeous mansion to compete for love and the chance to win $10,000 investment into their relationship. Um, oh, it's also going to be hosted by Stormy Daniels, of all people. That, I
Who?
know.
What?
I know. Out of nowhere, Stormy Daniels will be hosting this. Interesting choice. Um, I don't know. I'll post this on Tags Podcast so you guys can watch the trailer. But does this sound interesting to you, Jeremy?
Kind of, but not really. I'm not like a big fan of the like rose ceremony dating
Right.
shows as much as I am about like the reality TV shows. So I don't know. I may check it out, but I'm definitely more interested in the Friends of Weho.
Yeah, I don't have Out TV, but I'm kind of interested in this. It does. I was watching a few different dating shows on Netflix recently, and they are addictive. It's funny though because I went on speed dating last year, and they definitely did the opposite of this. They didn't intermingle people of a certain age, so it was like 36 and older, which is the group I fell into, and then
Mhm.
35 and under for the younger group. And I think they were going to do a mixing and an upcoming one that I didn't go to. I think for me, it's just too much emphasis on DILFs and their younger counterparts. And
Mhm.
but I think it will make for good TV. I don't know. What are your
Oh yeah.
thoughts, Kodi?
I just think the drama on this TV show is going to be through the roof, and I can't wait to watch it. Sign me up to watch the whole season. I'll probably binge it again afterwards. And again, I'll still rag on it at the end of the day, but just know that in my heart, I love you, Dilfs and baby Dilfs. If you're when you're out there, so yes, I'll be watching this show.
I do like all this new wave of entertainment that's coming our way, though. It's at least why don't we have more dating shows that are for men, and why isn't there been before? I think there was the A list. Kodi, was it called?
Yeah, the A list New York, and I think that they had a A list LA too. Maybe I'll Google it right now. Hold on one second.
Okay.
You know what was good was spoiler alert. I saw that in the movie theaters and that was really good.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I really want to see that too, and it's got a great cast too. I even think Sally Field's in it as well.
Yeah.
Good. I really want to see that movie, and thank you for that review on that.
Yeah, I don't see an A-list
I don't
LA.
think it did very well the first one, and it maybe was going to have an LA.
Yeah, so I think it was just New York. But
Oh,
I
that's
mean,
like Mike Ruiz and
Yes.
Riken.
Riken and Rodney Santiago.
Did you like that, Jeremy?
No.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's hope the newer one is a better remake of it. So sadly, with bad news for Neil Patrick Harris, because Uncoupled is not going to be renewed for a second season. And I really like that show a lot. It followed Uncoupled, didn't get a second season, created by Darren Star. I'm sad about this because I really liked it, and I wanted to know if he got together with his husband at the end of it. It kind of showed that it was going to go in that direction. Did you watch this, Jeremy?
I did. I didn't really like it.
Oh, you did? Okay.
No.
Why didn't you like it?
I just didn't find the acting was very, like, I don't know. I didn't like the humor, and it was a little corny, in my opinion.
Well, that's probably why I didn't get a second season, because people did you watch it, Kodi, or am I the only one?
I got through half. Me and my mom actually watched it together.
You got through half. Okay.
Yeah, well, Tisha Campbell's in it, so I was like, "Oh, yay! I love Tisha Campbell." So, but I got through half, and the other half, I'm waiting to go back down there and finish it with her. So when I go back and visit her, I'll finish it up.
I mean, at this point, though, you might as well skip it and find something else.
Why? No, I want to know what happens at the end of the season.
I know. If you did make it through the whole thing, I would just skip it at this point. But you could watch it, of course, and let us know.
Yeah, I will. I'll be like, oh.
Of course, I just spoiled it for you a little bit. At the
you know what? I want the plot details go in one ear and out the other with me. I will be totally shocked and surprised when whatever happens on this show.
Well, the ending is not really that amazing. So.
Really? Oh,
don't get
that's
too
why they didn't get a
excited,
second season.
Cody. I like how I'm trying to build it up, Jeremy.
Jeremy is like, no, please skip it, girl. Okay.
I love it. Oh my god.
Well, he hasn't watched White Lotus yet, so he has so much other shit to catch up on.
I finished the first season of White Lotus.
Oh my god.
Season
2 though is
well, season 2 is so much better.
Okay, well, I'm about to start it right now. So
I would
next
skip
time we
Uncoupled and watch White Lotus season 2 with your mom.
I am on it. I am on White Lotus season 2.
Okay, got it. All right. Well, thanks so much. As always, it's a lot of fun catching up with you both. You know, you can always follow my co-host. You can follow Jeremy on Instagram at JRossLopez, JRossLopez. Follow Kodi. He's a life coach at KMD Coaching, or on his personal account, Mr. Maurice at Mr. Maurice. Follow me at Iam_Steve V or at TAGSPodcast. Guys, thanks so much. So much fun catching up.
Always.
Thank you, babe.
Yeah,
Likewise.
Absolutely. We are live on Wednesday night for Tags Live, so join Kodi and me at 9 p.m. And the link is at TAGSPodcast.com. In the meantime, continue having hot gay sex.